Hello and welcome back. So we've called in the outposting train, which has rails and other goodies. So we're going to have a tour around this site and put down the rail infrastructure. It'll take the amount of time it takes, unfortunately. It looks like I've got some drones out and about visiting things. Yeah, I've got 4 drones which are lost in action. Okay, so the best way to deal with that, because of the timescales involved, is for us to change into a suit with no drone ports. That should cancel them from our list, and then to get back in this suit. Yeah. Okay, so let's carry on driving around. So this is our stacker for the whole build. Then we get into the bit specific to this one red circuit module. Now for red circuits, what we have, let's build this and then we will see what we need to do to fix it. Okay, down we go. Because I might be able to rip off a backbone from another build. This is set up for a smelting backbone, which brings in a single material, takes out a single material. But that's not quite what we've got here, is it? Okay, so that's provided all of that. Let's move this out the way. That's not quite out the way. Okay, move it out the way. Down here. And autosave, thank you. Right, so that's now out of the way. So, let's get a recipe done for this. Build it out. Okay, there we are. We're going to give this the red circuit treatment. So it needs 3 input materials. We are going to be making the copper cable on site, so which means we need to bring in copper plate. So we need 3 inputs and 1 output for this site. Okay, we'll productivity this, then grab some beacons. Probably won't need that many, I'll put some back in a minute. Okay, so I think this is the best pattern we can do at the moment. Okay. Right, and then that's it. So we have an input and an output. These build quite slowly, so they take 6 seconds at their base rate. So that's still not going to be producing a stack full in the time it takes for a stack inserter to swing. And it doesn't take in 1 million in volume of materials, so I think we can get away with a single input chest. Okay. Passive provider. There. Then I don't think there's room for a substation, but we will physically try one. Oh, all my substations got eaten, didn't they, placed by the solar? No, that's just a single square there. So I think the best we can do is put a pole here. We can put it dead against those, I guess, and then that would be the corresponding pole in the next row. By keeping these on the bottom, we know that we can fit in 3 rows of this around our roboports, so that's good. Okay, let's power this up. It's a shame we can't do this with substations, but that's just the way it is. Do this. there. Okay, so that's powered up. And we would have the corresponding build here with these. Is that right? Yeah, that's the corresponding build. And it's upset because it doesn't have a drone port. How much do I care about the flashing? Quite a lot. Okay, so let's put one of those down just to get rid of the flash. So that's our module. And what would this produce? So this produces 1.8 items a second. So yeah, we could use a slow inserter to empty this with no problem whatsoever, but we're going to use the filtering stack. We're going to wire it up on a clock like before, and that's going to let us save some UPS by having the inserter turned off most of the time. So items per minute, that is 112 items a minute, which is terrible. So I can imagine we're going to end up with quite a few of these builds. Right, let's kill that off. And we're now going to attempt to ratio this out. So if I get a clean blueprint, so we have one of these, right, and it's 8 point something from memory. Right, definitely don't want that row of power poles. Okay, we're going to attempt to lay out a bit of this design. So whoop. Okay, come back, mouse. Where have you gone? All is forgiven. There it is. Okay, so trees and rocks. Pull that one up. So from memory, it's slightly over 8 of these builds for each copper cable build. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna have to count with the deconstruction planner. Yeah, we have 8 assemblers there. Great, so let's grab some more material. This can sacrifice itself to the cause. Right, loads of those. Is that enough? It actually is. Okay, brilliant, and I had some left over. That's the first. Right, we're going to need some prod mods. I think 50 is enough for now. Put all those back. Okay, and to make this work, we'll have to power it up. Okay, so max rate says that this produces 896 a minute and consumes a lot of coil, 2.5k of coil. Okay, let's zoom in. So if we had one coil machine, what would that give us? Let's do this. Let's just put it down here for now. We will move this around as it makes sense. Okay, so this is now going to be a coil machine. There we are. And I've not set the ins and outs for any of these yet. We're still at the designing things from scratch stage. Why did I put all those speed mods back? I should have kept a stack. Right, let's go grab. Let's grab that, put half back. Great. And then let's grab another stack of these just in case. And I'm out of beacons already. Goodness me. These builds are just so hungry. Great. Now, are we in credit or debit? We are in credit. So we need to build, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. So we need to build 2.5k coils. We are building 2.6k coils. That is all absolutely fine. So that's a very slight overkill. So let's see how well we can ratio this out. So if we've got one of these builds, we haven't got a lot of space here, have we? So get me out of the way. We're still doing the counting, basically. There's going to be time later for arranging, but this is just to count out the parts. Okay, so have we got all the assembly machines down? Yes, we have. Beacons. Yep. Speed modules. Brilliant. Okay, so this is now in deficit for copper. So let's put down another copper build. Okay, out of speed mods. Okay, then, oh, come on. This big pole is now in the way, so let's move it because we can. Okay, and I threw away the blueprint I needed. I need to have a big sort out of blueprints at some point. Okay, so if we had a third of these, right. I'm going to need some. I've got the productivity mods. It's the beacons I'm now out of. And I don't think I managed to grab the power poles there on that blueprint. Okay, I cleared the blueprint I needed, didn't I, which was stupid. Okay. Okay, so this is down on copper, so we can put a third copper machine down. Really? So that is back into copper credit. Do I have room for, right, that was the broken blueprint. Let's take that. Do I have room for a fourth? Yes, I do. So let's put that down. Right, more beacons. More modules to put in. Okay. Now we need some more speed modules. Oh no, there are enough. So what are we? It's not the speed modules, it's the productivity modules. Right, put some of those back. Take another stack of those. Okay, so this is 4 circuit builds and 3 coil. And we are in coil deficit. So again, we need another coil machine. There we go. Okay, now we're in coil credit. So it really doesn't look like we're going to be able to squeeze anything out of that extra fraction to reduce the number of coil machines we need. And to be honest, you know, one machine out of however many builds doesn't make a lot of difference. So what it does mean is, let's see if we can tidy this up slightly. Okay, so where is our blueprint for a strip? So a strip currently looks like this. Great. Let's extend it by 1 build. Then where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Make that the copper cable. So that would be our strip. We can rip this up now because it's not needed. Great. So clear, clear, clear. Grab that. So that is our module. Now let's have a look. There's a bit more work to be done to this before we can place it. Okay, so how many of these fit? So that's frustrating. So we can fit in 1 and a bit. And I wonder what that bit looks like. It's almost certainly going to be something which doesn't round nicely. We might add up all those bits later and see if we can squeeze 1 more build in. Okay, so if that went down there. Again, we're going to end up ripping all this up in a minute. Okay, and then I'm going to put down copper cable builds to fill up the gaps because they're easy to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we could put 4 more bread machines in there. if we did that, we could put 4 more red machines on the next row, and then we'd need an extra coil. So I'm wondering, how many machines is this wide in total? $13. Well, we can always add an extra roboport to spread this out a bit. So that's 13. So what we could do is basically stripe this. So we would do 4, 1, 4, then 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, and so on. Making sure there's always enough coil machines to support the build. The other way we could do it is front load the coil machine so that they're as close to the copper as possible. No, it's sort of the reverse of what you want to do. You want, because for each plate you get 2 coils, you want the coils to be embedded throughout the build so that you minimize the travel distance for the coils. Okay, so I don't really want to. Could we double the size of this build? So at the moment this is 13. To double it, we'd need to get it to 18, which would be 5 more machines. So if we put this down, zoom out slightly, trying to center this. I don't know if that is centered, but that to me seems a long way away from the. Yeah, so this is the final set of chests. And this seems like quite a distance out to there, and that's not the one that worries me. It's after you've got 3 rows of this in. But just so you can see what the thought was, we could then put another one there. Which would give us 2 of these builds down each side. Basically doubling our build. I think the solution is to put 1.5 builds. So we will find a way to put 1 extra machine one side or the other. Okay, so at the moment we have a radar here. If we take that out and extend by 1, okay, so where's our build? So okay, so that's as far out as we could go with 1 extra roboport. Okay, then that's how far out we could go with the second one. Okay, so that gets us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines, and that looks a bit better, doesn't it? So let's trim that back because we don't need this stuff. I think we do need that beacon, but we don't need that. Okay, so that would be a full build to here, a half build here, with the coil machine on the end. Not ideal. Can we arrange these better? Right, so we've got bits down here. So now that basically we know what size we're working with. Pick up these bits. we're working with a row. We can work with a row of 14 rather than 13 if we want to. Because I'm sort of thinking of offsetting the next row. So you put the next one something like that. Maybe line the machines up, maybe not. But the idea would be that the next row would have another half build on it. Yeah, so you'd have an overlap of 4 there, which gives you 4 extra red machines, except you need on one side to have a copper coil machine and not on the other. And you kind of want the copper coil machine near the middle. We could totally overkill the copper coil machines, but that's a shame, really. So that would, if I do it like that, then there isn't room for the extra coil machine. And if I slide it over to there, then there is room for the extra machine. So that's off by, okay, let's pull this up because it's now not quite placed usefully. Let's take up another of these because I'm going to need the bits in a minute. Okay, so let's put one down there. Okay, so the next build would line up there. Let's put that down. Grab some more of this. Great. Okay, then we would throw in a partial build there and a partial build there. Right, so that gives us far more coil machines than we need. But we are doing a 3-row build. Okay, so I wonder if that's what saves us. Let's pick this up. Down we go. Thank you. Okay. So the third row. There. There's a power pole in the way here. Right, put that down there. So let's look at this with macro rate calculator and then see if we can get rid of any of the coil machines. So this produces, and this is the half build, remember. So this is 3.9K. It produces the copper cable we need, and we are in surplus. Right. Not sure if those modules will make a difference, but we will recalculate just to be sure. Okay, yeah. This is taking us to 4K. So this is a 4K for one half of the build, so an 8K build total. We are in credit for the coil machines. So what would happen if we took one machine and switched it over to red? There we are. Would we still be in credit? Yes, we are still in credit. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we've got rid of that coil machine. What would happen if we got rid of this one? Are we still in credit? Nope, we are in debt then. Great. All right. So, having established that we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coil machines, is there a better way to distribute them around here? So we are 14 machines wide and 3 machines deep. So is there a better way to distribute 5 coil machines in here? I think the answer is to center this one. So if we were to put it that's better. All right. So if we were to put it here, that would be the actual center. Is that the no? It's an even number. So that beacon is the center. So that's as centered as we can get it. Let's just calculate that again just to make sure. Yep, so we are in credit. Right, and I wonder if over the whole build, one side has an extra coil maker and the other side doesn't. Although I don't really want coil to be hoiked right across the map. Right, so the next thing to do is take a blueprint of this. Okay, and lay it down here. So it needs to be centered and within the robo coverage. So that. That's it, clear out my inventory. Anything important? No. Then we'll start ripping this up and placing it back down. Thank you, autosave. I shouldn't really complain about autosave. It saved me a lot of times from almost certain failure. It's just a bit annoying. Okay. Okay. So yeah, basically this proof of concept does work. We have some more work to do though. So this is currently set up to have one train dropping off and one train picking up. We need to rework this to have 3 trains dropping off and 1 picking up. which means that although I'm placing this down just to check that everything fits, we're going to have to move it all again in a minute anyway. So let's get it down. Don't know what I've just deleted by accident, doesn't really matter. Is that everything? Yep, that's everything. Great. Okay. So that's the whole thing, I think. Okay, so we're going to need to widen the robo ports by 1. I'm tempted to go back and see if the smelters need widening. I'd rather every single build used the same format, but you know, probably not strictly necessary. Do we have everything put down? No, we don't have enough boxes. Basically, I should look in my inventory for things that are used in the build which aren't in my inventory, because that probably means that there aren't enough of it. Okay, let's grab some of those. We have modules left. Do we have? Yeah, we have beacons left. We have assemblers left. And small power poles is the other thing. We have some small power poles there. Okay. So it is just the boxes. Yep. And then we would put the same build this side. I'm not going to place it though. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is sort out the rail. And this is going to be in the way, so let's rip that up. We can rebuild all this stuff again later. All right. So these are all going to be in the wrong place because they're set up for the wrong shaped stations. Right. So instead of having 2 incoming trains, we're going to have 4. Let's take that out. We can't really move things any closer. So we will move things back. Oh, it's not letting me do it because I don't have enough rails. Let's run over and get some. Okay. Don't know how many I need, but I seem to always get through more than I intend when I'm doing these kind of jobs. There we go. And then we'll need a choice here. Cool. So okay, so then we have a there, and we'll need one there. So let's rip a bit of this up. So we can get rid of this first bit here. This all has to go. My inventory is full apparently. What is it full of? Right, let's dump some beacons. Okay, get rid of the beacons. Roboports. There we go. I will have to pick all this up again in a minute, but never mind. Okay. Then I think I've got a load of wall making materials in my inventory, so I can dump them in this trash car. They'll get sent back into general circulation later. Don't need the walls, artillery, keep the radar. Don't need mining drills. Nukes or defenders. I'm okay for my suit at the moment. Not going to be doing anything with slow inserters. Won't be using belts. Okay, that's freed up some space. So we've now got 4 here for the 4 trains we're going to bring in. Let's make some more room. I like that. Okay, and then there. And there. Okay, then we need to bring this all the way down. This all the way down. Not a problem. I'm still a bit paranoid about these attacks, but you know, they're not really doing any damage now. Okay. So we have 4 stations now. Get rid of that. So after every station, we need to be able to go. We need to be able to hit a signal, because that's the signal that marks that the station is now free. Yeah. There we go. So this whole leg needs to go away now. There we go. What's going on here? Broken for some reason. Okay, and I'm not sure if this is now in the right place. Okay, so that would be the most obvious way to do this. Now we need to do some counting, and I need signals, so I'll grab some from the outposting train. I'm glad I brought that along. The idea is that there's always a space for trains to exit to. So there's always one train stacked up ready to go in, and there's always room for the current one to exit immediately, and that way the station should always stay fully occupied. Right, so that's 4. For 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4 exactly on? Yeah, that is exactly on 4. 4. Okay. Right, let's see if this also fits in 12 carriages, because that's the sizes of that's the size our trains are. Okay. Four. So I think we're going to be all right. I'll take these signals out in a minute. They're not strictly needed. It's just easier for me to count this way. Okay. Four. Yeah. And there we go. Okay, that's definitely enough space there. Four. So that's the full out. So that's 3 ingredients in and 1 out. Wonderful. So we can now take out these ones because they're surplus to requirement. Okay, and where else could we have put this? Yeah, let's put them there. Okay, so they all exit this block. As soon as they are in this block, yeah, that's the way, isn't it? Let's pick one of those up. So that makes that nice and small. Okay, then next thing to do is to put in the fast entry exit signals. So by putting a signal at the end of every train carriage, you allow one train to tailgate the other in, rather than waiting for the whole 12 carriages to have left before the next one. Now, this is probably overkill, but I'd rather design it at this stage than have to come back later. Great. Then I'm doing 2 unload boxes just out of habit, and 2 load boxes again out of habit. To be honest, I don't know if that is sufficient or overkill, but it's what we're going to do. And we're just counting up how much stuff is in these boxes. We don't care how much stuff has been offloaded. That can buffer up. It's really not interesting. Okay, so this is an unload train. This is the pickup. This is another unload train. 7, 8. Right, and then this is going to deal with the other train. Cool. So our stuff is a bit loaded towards one side rather than the other. It's just the way it is. I suppose I could have put the extra material into the middle. I'm going to do that because it's as close as we're going to get to balancing out the bot loads. Okay, let's take these off. Okay, if we do that, we can center. Yeah, let's take this. Try it again. Okay, go back to this box. So this can be nicely centered. Okay, then it's going to be wrapped around those. Is that going to cause trouble if we need to add extra boxes? Meh. We can cross that chicken when we come to it. And that's the 8th one. So that is the station design. We can now rip all of this up. And take our blueprint. That way around, that's it. We will center it on that roboport. Then is everything within logistics range? It is not, because we apparently don't have. That's as centered as we're going to get, I think. There. Okay. So let's check. Yeah, that does cover them all. And does it cover them all at the top? Yep, it does. Okay, the next job is a bit tedious. I probably should have done it earlier, but I forgot. Right, do we have everything we need? No, we need beacons, basically. They're probably the ones I've hidden away in the back carriage here. Okay, there's some beacons and the modules. Beacons and the modules. Great. So we are going to wire up this half because I'm going to then blueprint this over to the other side. Okay, so let's get in here. The first thing to do is to link the 3 rows of stack inserters. Oh, we haven't got enough green stacks. Okay. Pick up another one of those. Ah, quite a few of them. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so we are going to pick up a green wire. We're going to attach that to that to that. Okay, and we have a red box problem. And possibly a blue box problem, so let's pick up one of each. Okay, so that has gone from back to front. We are going to set this to filter on, yeah, it's going to set the filter. Come on. Okay, then we're going to run the cable all the way down. There we go. Set filter on all of those. Yep, that's right. Now, the odd one out is the coil machine. This is going to be running at full speed. Okay, so isn't going to need isn't going to need to be wired, actually. Okay, so this makes this build slightly more complicated. I want to unattach that. I want to unattach that. Right, but we can make sure these are still wired into the overall circuit network. There we go, just by running a cable backwards to join them in. I don't want to do a grid the whole way across, but I'm keen to make sure that these are definitely all wired. Okay, there we go. And from previous experience, copper coil machines are a bit special. They need two outputs. Which kind of screws with our wiring choices. So I can get the machine wired up. Don't know how to get the inserters wired. That wouldn't touch them. A substation would do it, but substations would then cross-link the power. How else can I do this? It definitely does need two boxes out. Well, we'll get to that later. I'll figure that out later. At the moment, let's finish off doing the wiring. Okay, so we have wired here. Okay, so we are going to need to wire this. Okay, and this one is a coil machine, so it isn't to be wired. Let's wire that backwards. And the coil machine again is going to have a standard out and two of them. Okay. So this can go back. There we go. And then set this to set filter. Okay, then run down. That's set that for all of those. Okay, and then the final row. This one is wired already. Okay. And again, we'll have to come back and figure out what's going on here with the power. So, green wire. Make sure that's wired across. Oh, no. It's all right, that's wired across there. Okay, more green. So this is going to need a green going across the rows. There we are. So fingers crossed. Then set filters. Check that it's on set filters. Yes, it is. Great. Okay. So let's see what we can do about these copper machines, because they're going to be a problem. I could lose a beacon because I have too many copper machines for the number of red machines, so I could lose a single beacon and then drop in a substation. Right, let's power this baby up and see if that fixes the problem without destroying our work. Okay. Yeah, so you can see there's these outer boxes aren't quite reached by the roboports. They should be. It's because there's no power going to the roboports. Okay. Because there's no power going to this backbone because we pulled out the power cables which were running along here. Okay, so let's drop some in. Is there a better way to do this? Yeah, that does join. Okay, so these are now charging, and now everything is in range. Right, these are hit by both electric networks, both the rail one and the backbone. That hopefully won't be a problem. Put these down because I'm going to need them to make sure that the drones are charged. Good. Because we need the drone ports to stay. The idea is that the build is on a power switch which turns off when the station is full enough so that we can serve power. It also allows us to centrally have a readout of how many of each module are active and inactive at any one time. So we've got two bits of circuits, one for the on-off, and then we'll have a second bit of circuitry which is doing the clock for the red machines. Okay. So we are producing more coil than we need, and we are producing 4.1k of reds. So what happens if we take out this beacon and put in a substation? So it's only the one beacon. So still on 41k, and we're still in credit for coil. All right. So that one only affects the single build. Just making sure the placement of these is consistent. Okay, and then this one wasn't flashing because it's the wrong build. Right, so this needs to have a wire going backwards for consistency. Then this one will need to have a wire going backwards for consistency. Let's check this is definitely, is that filters? Yes it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're down to 4K. So we were 4.1 something, we're now down to 4.0 something. So we've lost 100 reds a minute or so. We still have a net positive of coil machines, although it's gone down from 0.5 to 0.3. So I am calling that good. We can take a blueprint of that half, including roboports, and we can put it down the other side. Great, and then we may as well drive the train close and see how much of this we can build. This build is just on a different scale, isn't it, compared to the little 1-4 trains I've been using. Whoa, yeah, that's the problem with stopping there. It's started to empty my train inventory. Should have gone into the other station, I think. Okay, so I definitely don't need construction bots. And one stack of drone ports is enough for everybody at this point. Right, would it have been, yeah, would it have been smarter to drive into the unloading station? So let's go around here. See if we can do this. Okay, so unloading should be this one. Oh, that was the stacker. Okay, let's try again. This one. So, sorry, this is the loading one. Okay. Let's grab inserters. Did all those assembly machines go? Didn't realize. No, they didn't. Okay, we're going to need a few of those, and a few of those, and all of those, but they're already gone. Okay, so missing, yeah. So what I'll do while you're here, before I run off and fix the rest of the, okay, let's bring a, can I bring that along here without that cross wiring? No, I need to go up one more. Out of small power poles, goodness me. Alright, grab some of those. Okay, so this can come over again. There. Okay, so we can then run a green wire along here. Did I trash all my green wires? No, I didn't. I'm just being a bit blind. Right, so we have a green wire from here. Let's bring that up to there. There, 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 and then on to that inserter. Okay, so then I need a clock, which is made of some, and let's do it on this one. So it needs an arithmetic. We are going to input signal T, and output T plus 1 as T. Then we are going to have a decider. If T is less than, and let's pick a random number, 60. Output T with the input count. So it's going to count 0 to 59. We can join that there, and then join that there. So that's now counting. Then we have another decider combinator which says whenever T is equal to 0, output red circuit, and one of them. Right, and then we need to wire it to the clock. So then once every 60 ticks, yeah, you can see a little light flashing. Then we can attach that to the pole. That is our clock. So now these inserters here should flash, yeah. And any inserters that aren't flashing, we will have to fix later. Oh, you can see the whole lot of flashing. Are they all flashing? Yeah, they are. Great. Okay, so we can adjust the threshold here for how frequently we want it to do. Right, the other bit of circuitry we need is the contents of these boxes are being read out. Okay, and that's going on to here. So let's then run the cable from there to there. Okay, and what do red circuits stack in? I actually don't know. Let's look on Factorio wiki. I'm doing this on the other screen, I'm afraid. Advanced circuits. Okay. Their stack size is 200. Okay. So trains have 40 slots. So it's 10 by 4. So one train can pick up 40 times 20, which is 400 times 2, which is 800. Sorry, 8,000. Is that correct? So it has 40 slots. You can fit 200 in each slot. That would be 2,000 times 4, 8,000. Yeah, it is 8,000. Okay. So what I want to do is have a... Are we out of decider combinators? We are. Are there any in this train? No, but perhaps I have some on the other train. Let's go find out. That's slightly offset, isn't it? I'm not going to fiddle around with it in case it is measured precisely. I think I've just picked a slightly different anchor point for that. Right, so this is the trash we put in. There's nothing useful in there. There we are, deciders. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Okay, so we are going to put this here. So this is going to be attached with the green cable to the input. And it is going to read the number of red circuits. Whenever the red circuits are below 8,000, but we have 8 carriages, so 64,000, we want this site to be on, because we want to always make sure we have at least one train full of material here. Okay, brilliant. And we are going to output an S for set. And we only need to output a single S. Okay, then we're going to have a second one of these. This is going to read these. Now we have 2 boxes for loading. So this is going to be the reset signal, and it's going to reset whenever we have 128. So that's 2 boxes, and let's make sure that this is greater than or equal to 128. So whenever those 2 boxes are full, we are full enough to fill up 2 trains, we are going to stop producing. Okay, so those are the 2 incoming signals. Let's wire that to that. So then we have another decider. This one is going to be on whenever S is greater than R. Now output 1 S for set. We are going to wire that. Then we're going to wire its output to its input using the other color wire. And what that does is latch it. So it's going to output an S when it's on. It'll push that back into its input. So it'll remember that it is on, because it'll output an S of 1, means it has an input of an S of 1. As long as there are no R inputs, it will stay latched. Then eventually this R will fire, that will clear this latch. So the site will build up to 2 carriages worth of material, turn off, then sink down to back down to 1 train's worth of material, and then oscillate backwards and forwards between those. Okay. So then this can go into a power switch. And the power switch is here. And I can't actually remember the best way to do power switches. Yeah, let's put it there for now. We'll move it over 1, I think. Okay, so we will wire that to there. So this is going to be on whenever S is greater than 0. Then we need to use this to link the 2 power networks. So we can run from there to the switch, and from the switch to, may as well use this because it's our single control input. Great. So now if we look on the map and turn off robot port coverage is good, electrical networks. Okay, so there's this green wire, which is the one we just added. Then we have some crossing over here and here. Okay, so we can fix the one back here easily. Gone. Okay, back to the map. Okay, so the issue is these 2 substations. Not linked on the other side, so it's just this that we need to break. Now I am loath to do it by manually breaking because it means that it's really brittle to blueprinting. And it's not happening the other side, despite having the... Yeah, it's just because they're offset to the side. So I'm wondering what would happen if we... this one's wrong as well. So let's pull out the ones which are wrong. Okay, and we will put in the green cables again everywhere. So that's joined. Ooh, that looks like an error. Don't need that, do we? No, that was joined to the wrong thing. I think I must have just at one point have clicked on the... onto that box. Good, okay. So let's just take these 2 boxes. We need to join that substation to that one. Then these 2 to that. And that to that. Do we now have them all joined up? That's joined, these 2 there. These 2 to there. these two there. Then this has to go across and down. Okay. Bit of a mess. I may come back and tidy that off screen. So yeah, this is now active because obviously there's no material around. Let's look at the map again. But these two power systems are now separate. Okay, so let's go back to base construction. So this red build is designed and we've nearly built out one version of it. So I'm pretty happy with that. That is a useful volume of work to have got done in an episode. The next build after the reds is the blue circuits build. And after that, we will start looking at plastic. Thanks very much for watching. We are basically going to go around like this, making one of each build, getting them commissioned as early as possible so that they are working. And then we will do our best to start producing stuff. All right, I think I'm going to hold off doing the upgrades on the red circuits back at the main base because I'm just going to build this red circuit build out and then steal mercilessly from that to make modules. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you're still enjoying. Leave comments, tell your friends to subscribe. Love letters, all that stuff, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.